Also, this is good news, fun news. We hit 27,000 followers yesterday after I went offline. So huge W. Thank you so much for the follows. We hit 26 like last month. To be fair, if we keep going at this rate, we're not gonna hit 50 by the end of the year, but we may hit 35. That would be kind of cool. Like 30, 35 or somewhere around that range. And the 50 will be in the horizon for next year, which is pretty good considering that like some people stream for like years and they don't get past like 10,000 followers. And we just hit 2 years. We just hit 2 years early this month, like last week. And now we're at 27K. So that's like a little over 1,000 followers per day. So I like that. That's cool. You're really a rising star, which is why you should vote for me for rising star for the streamer award. That's what you should do.
Misty Bubbles just subscribed. Good on ya.
Every year, well, if I win this year, then you don't have to vote for me next year. Do you get a boost from Content Cop? Obviously. Mr. Bubbles, thank you for the 4-month resubscription with Prime. Chat, you know your Primes are free and you can only use them here. So I've heard. This is a rumor that I've heard. I don't know who started such a rumor, but like, it kind of makes sense. You could only use your Primes here and nowhere else but here. So, don't even try using it anywhere else. Okay, we'll start with the Stans clip because apparently Stans did shout me out, and I was doing a little bit of misinfo.
I live like a capitalist every single day, Shank. I live as a capitalist. Okay?
It's true, I tried. Thank you. It's totally not a bot. That's super helpful for my my use case. But thank you for the Prime. Much appreciated. Here. Also, no One Piece update. I didn't get a chance to watch yesterday. I did watch the first 2 episodes of Black Mirror, I think. Yeah. You sure I didn't miss any subs or anything? All right.
Once again, bro, I barely even talked about you. I don't even know the fuck. I've seen clips of him, but I don't know who this guy is. I know he's Sean DeBlack. I know that's his name, but I get the feeling it's one of these situations like with the
Shout out, Sean.
Millhouse guy.
Okay, that'd be
The Millhouse guy.
God, why is he being so creepy? Look how he's creeping around.
Dude, you were in the context of or not. Yeah, like he can't say he doesn't know who I am and I've never talked about him while he put me in the context.
I live like a capitalist every single day, Shank. I live as a capitalist. Okay? I live when
you feel me? That was a speed run shout out. True.
Thank you, Sean.
Danum, thank you for the 6-month resubscription. By the way, so he doesn't know the only black person in the video. That's what I'm saying. Why does he say black like that? Honestly, this may be the perfect time, chat. This may be the perfect time to finally do my favorite tier list that I've been wanting to do forever. Right? You know what? At 1,000 subs, we'll do it. And that tier list is rating how other streamers say my name. Like, how racistly do other streamers say my name or other content creators say my name? Because that'll be fun. I like that. I don't know if there's still a channel in the Discord. Yeah. There's a channel in the Discord called Mentions Tier List. It's under events. And so if y'all want to go out and find other streamers or content creators saying my name and putting it in that channel, so it'll just make my life a little bit easier. It'll make my life a little bit easier so that I don't have to go searching for it when we start the tier list. Can you write an example of each tier racism? I'll do it when we do the tier list itself, right? And yes, S tier will be the most racist. It'll be like the most racist, you know, says the N-word in a song, level racist. Has black friends, level racist. You know. Did the BLM fist. Posted a black square, level racist. You know, and it's like black ally. And then it's like, is black person as like the last tier. For a non-native English speaker, what's the most, what is more racist ways of saying your name? I mean, just like take what Ethan says here. You know what I mean?
On to black. I know that's his name.
Like,
bro, I barely even talked about you.
It's okay. Let's say it's purely based on vibes. It's purely based on vibes, right? No, Destiny says it the most racist way, right? Destiny says it in the most explicitly racist way because Destiny was trying to be racist, right? And it kind of feels like a kid cursing to make his parents mad a little bit. You know what I mean? Which is why it doesn't even like, it doesn't hit me the same. I don't get like the, ooh, that's racist, right? I'm just like, oh, you know. Like he's trying to be racist. And it's a lot less fun like that, you know? When they really focus on the word black. Khaki Black, thank you for the prime. Much appreciated. W. He said black the same way Charlie Kirk pronounced blacks, and it's saying instead of black people. That's the only way I can explain it. So yeah. If you want to do that or get to that tier list, chat, we are just about 88 subscribers away. And so we may not hit it today, but if we hit 1,000 subs, we'll do the tier list. We'll carve out a day where we just, you know, drop that tier list.
The boy's a liar. The boy's a liar.
Say your goodbyes.
He doesn't see ya. You're not looking at me, boy.
I don't really understand this. I'm confused. But is that his kid? Like actually his kid? I don't believe that. Ituli, thank you for the prime subscription. Much appreciated, chat. Are we adding her to the compilation? Oh, she didn't say my name. She just called us monkeys. Yes. That's... I honestly didn't even know his kid was old enough to be on Twitch, honestly. I know nothing about this person. Or on YouTube. He's not on Twitch. But regardless, whatever. We're getting into the... She said monkey. Yeah, she said... Okay, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. You know, let's just start it. 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 Let me see. So yesterday, they did one of their longer shows, I think. Hassan has hit rock bottom. Man, SGC's kind of washed a little.
Y'all watch this first.
You know what I mean? This is on like his main channel too.
I did everything right and they indicted me.
Like 10,000 views in an hour? That's kind of washed. Oh, he's wearing a funeral suit. He's putting IDUPs to rest, is what he said. Also, I want you to pay very close attention to the name of this episode. It's reacting to the entire IDUPS content comp. Reacting to the entire IDUPS content comp. And you may think like, oh, okay, this is like a 5-hour long stream. I'm sure he got through the entire video.
The boys are lying.
I'm gonna skip the intro because I don't really care.
You're not looking at me, boy.
Also, spending like 10 minutes on Frogan's response, right? It's kind of telling because, like, okay, we joke, right? We joke about, you know, Ethan Klein skipping over me or talking about me because he's scared or afraid. But again, exactly what I said before is true. He goes after who he perceives as easy targets. He doesn't go after me, which is why he has to pretend like he doesn't know who I am, right? He has to pretend like he doesn't know who I am in order to like skip over me to get to Frogan because he feels like Frogan is the easier target, right? Like, as I said yesterday when Frogan like rated, like there's no reason that somebody of Ethan's size should be focused on or talking about Frogan as much as he is. There's no reason. And he'll talk about denims, like, you know, he'll go after denims. Why is Frogan an easy target? Because she's visibly Muslim. She's a hijabi woman, right? She's Muslim. Ethan's Islamophobic. And she's a significantly smaller creator than Ethan is. Right? Like, Frogan doesn't hold any positions that are like unique on like the wider left sphere on Twitch or whatever. Like, Frogan doesn't have positions or have takes that are like crazy out there when compared to like somebody like, you know, myself or to Mike or to Bada Banana is even worse. Or to Hassan. But it's for some reason, yeah, she doesn't even stream politics. But for some reason, she attracts a level of response that is disproportional to the things that she says. Right? Like, I've said more radical things than Frogan has. And Ethan doesn't touch it for some reason. Ethan doesn't touch it. He pulls the, I don't even know why this person's here. I don't know who this person is. And then pulling up a clip of me like directly. Why is Muslim an easier target than black? Because Islamophobia is a more acceptable level or type of bigotry than anti-black racism. That's the reason why. I don't know. I'm not gonna explain, you know, why America allows more Islamophobia than they do anti-black racism in 2025. Right? I can't tell you that the answer, but that's just the case, right? That's just the case. It's more acceptable to be Islamophobic than it is to be anti-black racist. And keep in mind, being anti-black racist is still acceptable, by the way. I just want to point that out. Like, this idea that like it's unacceptable to be anti-black racist is also stupid because it's still acceptable. Anti-black racism is persistent, right? It's just even more acceptable to be Islamophobic. It's still acceptable, just not overtly. No, that's not even true. It is still overtly acceptable, chat. It is. Like, I mean, especially in 2025 with like Elon Musk's Twitter, like it is to be directly like, oh, you know, like, okay. The thing that I just closed was from Destiny's, did I miss 1,000 bits that were given? Pop and Wap, thank you for the 1,290 bits. Much appreciated. I don't know how I missed that. And Pull the Lever Kronk, thank you for the tier 1 subscription. Much appreciated. Right? But like in 2025, like overt anti-black racism is just it's there, right? It's persistent. But Islamophobia is just like another added level of like, you know, you get to be Islamophobic, right? It's seen as more American, right? To be Islamophobic. Right? People are like anti-black racism, they're not great, you know. but like, you know, black people are violent or whatever. But like, it's seen as like more American to be more Islamophobic, right? So it's not even just that it's allowed, but it's promoted, right? Directly to be Islamophobic, right? Also, yeah, Frogan's also a woman. So that is another added layer of like misogyny on top of the entire thing. Because America needs permanent enemies, terrorists, by the way of Arab/Muslims. Yeah. Yeah. There's also a combo of anti-black and Islamophobia. Remember your hater calling you Muslimish? Yeah. I mean, because that person's stupid though, you know? Like, that person isn't even like representative of like the entirety of like, you know, society. Because they're stupid. Right? Like there's a difference between somebody being like, oh, why is he wearing a shower cap? Which I hear all the time, which is like, it's whatever. And being like, oh, he's wearing a bonnet, therefore he must be, or wearing a religious Muslim, you know, hat. Therefore he must be Muslim. Therefore I'm going to be Islamophobic towards this person who is not Muslim because I perceive this person as Muslim. So I don't know where my Muslim hat is. It's somewhere. It's somewhere around here. So hijabis are even more demonized, both being victim of scary Muslims waiting to be liberated and supposed zealots at the same time. Yeah. Your Muslim because you're black and black people are a nation of Islam. This is legitimately what an Ethan Klein defender had said. For chatters who don't like watch me frequently, who are like just seeing me for the first time, somebody who like an Ethan Klein defender had said this directly. They literally said because I wore a bonnet that it was a Muslim religious hat, right? It's like a Muslim hat. Therefore, I am Muslim, and because I'm black, I must be a part of the Nation of Islam. This is what this person believes. Because this person is like Islamophobic. I'm sorry, what? I'm not even joking. Do we have a clip, chat? I don't know if somebody clipped me talking about that. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Yeah. Here it is.
Oh, got it. Okay, you're asking about the religious angle, specifically doing Islam. In that case, Black Americans. Oh, got it. Okay, you're asking about the religious angle, specifically doing Islam. In that case, black Americans who follow certain interpretations of Islam, particularly those with strong conservative or nationalist leanings, might oppose the modern liberalism or on moral, social, or political grounds. So in other words, you say things like, I'm more hard on the Democrats than I am on the Republicans.
I'm not Muslim. I feel like I'm going insane. This wasn't even the first time. Where's it at? Does he know something about me? Here, okay, let's watch the full video. Insane. Does he know something about me that I yet don't know? Oh, yeah. Imagine this guy is just Muslim and it's because you're black, but like black Christianity has been a thing pretty consistently. And this is atheism or hate all from me. Big homophobia. White lives are
his long history of anti-black and anti-Muslim bigotry. So now this
earlier.
Oh, you want to fuck
TikTok and leave comments on my TikTok. Chat if you follow me because I'm black. Tuesday chat is because I'm. I don't even know what I don't know why I was gonna say gay. I'm not gay.
That. It's sad. It's pathetic. And that's the shit that he used to tell me. It's sad.
So, from crossing streams with
or them be open-minded.
Chance that I either showed on the Jubilee episode or
clip. Trying to find the clip.
That's bullying.
Other messages.
Strumdog gifted a tier 1 sub to Das International.
Dude, he hates you? I didn't even do anything. Literally, I didn't even do anything, bro. I didn't even do anything.
Do you only have people following you because you're black?
All right, chat. One's in the chat if you follow me because I'm black. Two's in the chat is because I'm. I don't even know. I don't know what I was gonna say. Gay. You know. Because the part where he says I'm an H3 fan. Nah, I don't care enough. That I'm smart. Parasites that suck each other off. You know.
Did you?
Last month, he's. You know what I mean.
That made it. I do.
And people are mad about that. Right? I'm showing you what people actually do, chat. They will go to my Instagram and leave comments on my Instagram. They will go to my TikTok.
Well, no, they'll call Bad Empanada a terrorist.
And leave comments on my TikTok the minute they're banned in chat.
Dude, fuck yourself. Here.
Feeling owned? I feel so owned.
Here, talk to me direct. No, I don't
see with this, Katie. I don't even coming up. Okay.
And talking about shit that's 3 months old because your fucking Hassan Hamas fucking piker told you what to say, what to think, and until he refreshes his fucking page, you can't either. Okay, buddy. So
this is also so funny to say that I react to things quicker than Hassan does. Like,
Buster, following yourself. Thank you. I'm one of them. Thank you. Yeah, that's great. And then, so where you are left wing, which would make sense for your blackness, there's other places where you decide to say stupid right wingy shit. And why would your blackness lead you towards being anti-Ethan other than the Zionism/Jewish angles? That's the point that we come to. So if you share certain things with me, but then all of a sudden you hit this hard stop when it comes to H3, why? What's your beef against H3? Because I've looked into it. As far as I can tell, the only thing you're doing is either popular picking or doing it out of a Zionist standpoint.
oh yeah. He also said that I was a Zionist for criticizing Ethan. Because Ethan definitely not a Zionist. Right? Ethan definitely not a Zionist. I must be the Zionist because I'm critical of Ethan. So if Ethan is not a Zionist, and if Ethan is anti-Zionist, then I'm anti-Zionist. And then the antis cross out, which then makes me a Zionist in his mind. Oh, okay. I understand. He's saying that I must be Zionist because I'm anti-Ethan. And Ethan can't be Zionist. Because he said he's not a Zionist. So if I'm anti-Ethan, then I must be the Zionist.
Yeah.
Right. Huh? But he thinks you're Muslim? Yes, he thinks I'm a Muslim Zionist. Okay, wait, I missed it. Okay, I missed that point. Okay, it must have been the stream before this. Right? It must have been the stream before this one where he said I was Muslim. When did he claim I was Muslim? Okay, now I'm curious. This was 2 months ago? Okay. Okay, now I need to know, chat. Now I need to know. I have to find it. Let's see. Maybe it's this one. No, it's not this one. So it must have been this one. But it must have been earlier in this one. Oh, it was earlier in this one. Okay. If you respond to his messages, I will ban you. Because you are I didn't okay. I did not expect him to say black people were inherently inferior. Like this one
as was the American South and shit like that. The liberal
needs Jesus so bad. Don't say that. Oh, you don't know how far he's gonna go off if you say that.
Much xenophobic.
I don't know if I gave that vibe. Oh, okay, here it is. Here it is. Maybe they'll talk. Maybe Ethan and Hassan will talk.
Infidels, am I right? Always be tripping on that Zionism wave too.
Update for you guys.
I also don't know what that means. Palestinians. That's what I said. But like, my assumption, I was telling my mom yesterday, my assumption is that he thinks that because I'm defending Palestinians, that I'm Muslim. Yeah, I was wrong about that. That's not why he thinks I'm Muslim. Which,
Fucking forward.
I'm not Muslim.
Smarter than you. I'm a fan answer. And I bought this fast car, straight cash. Okay, straight cash.
Like,
Walk first about your reply and why, and just say it's because of my religion. Tell people why that is, so we understand. Rather, why? Why? Can you be honest about your reply and why, and just say it's because of my religion, and I have to back this. Otherwise, I think that my God is going to kill me and see me as an infidel. Just tell us what the truth is, and we can walk forward from that. You know, I like to move forward. You know, me and my fast car. I'm smarter than you. I'm a fan answer. And I bought this fast car, straight cash. Okay, straight cash.
like, I'm not Muslim. I don't know where he got this from. Genuinely, I don't know where he got this from. Like,
He tells us at some point.
word, whatever for just the same have now. Yeah, I don't think it's believe you have like with that being the case. Acceptable target, yeah. And one thing I really do respect about because
Okay, then I go on a tangent for a while, and I go back to it.
just only
it's tell us what the truth is, and we can walk forward from that. You know, I like to move forward. You know, me and my fast car. Dude,
I must be Muslim.
This is old,
which
man.
I genuinely do not know where he got that from. Unless he thinks that
So
I'm
Muslim like
because I'm
Obama?
Palestinian, I must be Muslim, or because I like Hassan, I must be Muslim. But like, I have not ever claimed that I was
That's why they
Muslim.
gifted a tier 1 sub to
Like,
_perspective.
Just
This is their first
I
gift
think he's
sub
just kind
in
of
the
racist.
channel.
Yo, okay, I guess I have to. It puts it while I do it, but you guys have to watch this person's content while I figure it out. Click.
Here, fucking mosques and his whole. Yeah, I think that's about it. Like,
Was there not? Like, not as good.
Purely on YouTube, all talking.
Sense to me. I wanted to show him then saying this stuff. More women too. Oh, I don't. Don't worry about that. It's still happening. I thought I fixed it. Oh, jeez, Louise.
Okay.
Hey, retard. Okay, the kids called me fucking retard.
Okay, I'm done with this person.
It's not slander. I can say that statistically, your people are dumber than other people, and that's not slander either.
Okay, but what did he say about my hat?
Okay.
He talks about my hat at some point.
So I moved on from the TikTok, and I can still think that's bad.
You know, when Jesus.
I'm correct about that. Confirmed. I never thought it.
You have none of this. And then you come back. What did you die from? We're not sure. I don't
When
really
you're
wanna
wearing
say
it?
I mean, we are sure. It's cancer from smoking cigarettes. But like the chemo and shit, sure. I don't really want.
We? Oh yeah, the we clip.
How you guys have been oppressed for years and years. Also, we used you for slavery and shit. We didn't kill you because of that. Ig H3 Ludwig Sean. Do you have as a person beyond your blackness that says that you deserve?
I'm attractive. But like
True.
two parasites that suck each other off.
Dumb. You seem to be really dumb. I don't get you, dude. Out of date. You're out of date.
What is this man's point? He's very see throat.
And did with
He just said.
the
I agree with. I still stand by Matt. Bottom of the bar. That's
Okay.
of trash from third world trash.
what?
That's the only reason why anybody fucking knows you, talks about
Hello.
you, gives a fuck about.
What?
I think this is it. You met the glasses?
he knew that I lived in North Carolina, like in America.
Trash.
Showing you comment
One? Yeah, nice. Run your mouth.
how he expects me to see.
So, is that all you got? Is that all you got? Am I using this to fucking do that now? Am I do? Everything I've said is within any terms of service. I'm allowed to criticize other fucking voices on these platforms.
Watching this for a reason. I didn't see it in there.
Stuff instead of banking off of old information and you can't either.
Like Ethan Klein does something insane and stupid, and you're like, so
Core values are fucking shaky. You have nothing back there. You have only the other opinions of greater men than yourself. Thank you. I'm one of them. Thank you. Yeah, that's great. And then, so where you are left wing, which would make sense for your blackness, there's other places where you decide to say stupid right wingy shit.
Okay, if you saw this part.
okay, right?
Because of blah and blah, it's because that's what you've given yourself. That's the window that you are.
I have to say, obviously,
Not, so
and he says no.
unlikely political.
I live like a capitalist every single day, Jake.
Religious
I
angles.
live as a capitalist. Okay? I live when I believe.
The underscore
I
all
literally-
underscore
this-
my
that's his
underscore
entire
T
goal.
just subscribed. Yo.
9 times 9.
Muslim bigotry. So now this is where Whittian is not Muslim, but is black. And
Okay.
you...
Oh, here it is. Okay, I found it, chat. Listen to this part. This part is the funny part. I found it. Non-Muslim. Is it say how to die just double tapping both racism and Islamophobia at once? White lives are nuts.
However, aligning with the KKK would still be incredibly unlikely, given the KKK's long history of anti-black and anti-Muslim bigotry. So now this is where Whittian is not Muslim, but is black. And
Okay.
you are Muslimish.
I'm Muslim-ish.
I got them vibes, chat.
I'm Muslim-ish. Oh, that's so funny. The creators of Blackish and Fresh off the boat. What? Okay, I need him to explain that to me.
Shahada coded.
I need him to explain that to me, please. Please, I need him to explain what he means by Muslim-ish. I need to know. I need to know. Yeah, like George Santos is Jewish. I am Muslim-ish. Okay. Give it to me. Please explain.
But is black. And you are Muslimish. Your little head thing that you constantly insist on wearing, etc. There's
I'm gonna grab it actually.
Tell DB Sean. Check out this. Yeah, check out this Muslim hat.
Kleinsman. That's pretty good. I like Kleinsman. I said KKKleiner. No, now I'm saying KKKleinsman. That's crazy.
That is so funny.
He's getting mad at my bonnet. He's saying my bonnet makes me Muslim. Bro. Chat.
Where they put you on the Habibi list?
Is it kind
I don't remember. I wasn't in the original video because they forgot about me, which honestly maybe that's for the best. But yeah.
kind of Islamist to have protected hair?
I put it on. Yeah. But that was the point that I was trying to find. It was actually I was right there before, and I skipped back all the way to the beginning to try to find it. But yeah, no, he said that my bonnet is a Muslim hat. Sorry, we got distracted. We went on a little tangent there. Who is this person? Don't worry about them. They're not important, but they have some good bits that we've now used now. Also, I haven't bought it too. OMG, I'm Muslim. Wait, I gotta tell my parents BRB. Bought it is hijab confirmed. Confirmed. The man has left his house in 2015. That person is just a he looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh YouTuber, which is a big bummer. He's just a like Reddit atheist. Like literally like a Bill Maher type. A Bill Maher type, like Reddit atheist who like hates all religions but just happens to hate Islam more than other religions. Or it's like, yeah, all religions are bad and stupid and gross and icky. But like Islam is the actual the real root of the problem. But yeah, Sam Harris type. That's what yeah.
Hello, my friends. Welcome to
I didn't know Asvin reacted.
A special episode of the H3 show here today on April 18th, 2 days before 420 Blaze It. These aren't clouds, actually. These are, it's weed smoke, actually, in preparation. The city is lit. Today, we approach this episode somberly. I've dressed up as I'm, unfortunately, will be attending a funeral for a friend today.
I don't think anyone deserves that level of cruelty or hate.
Thank you. And I feel the same way, my friend.
So
nobody.
We want to stay out of the drama as much as possible. We don't want to pile on and add to anything.
That came out 9 hours ago.
I hear his voice, and I think he's still alive. I can't.
That was morally great.
Okay. What can I skip to? I don't want to miss anything good in this, but what can I skip to, chat? We just skip to the actual watching review. I know y'all watch this. The end. That the pre-watching scripted. I mean, I told y'all they were gonna do that. Just get to the end, please. Like all the way to the end. I at least want to get to the part where actually, I don't know if there's anything else interesting here. Watch the beginning to show how cringe way it starts and then skip to whatever you want. I don't know what to skip to though. Here, okay. Let's go here.
Now I have here a list of things that iDubbbz left out of the video that I think are important. I'm, however, going to hold off on going over this. Let's just watch the video, and as it happens, I'll pull these up. So let's go ahead, excuse me, and start where we left off at minute 17. Let me just pull it up here. iDubbbz content cop.
We have that whole doc of links with the video itself.
I can't find the link to the video. I know I timestamped it last night, but I just can't find the damn thing. So anyway, here it is. Yeah, pretty funny business. So
like, I think that like them going home, pre-watching, and getting a script, which he basically admits to here, right? Should like slightly invalidate this whole like I'm a real G responding on air live or whatever. You know what I mean? Like you can't do that and then simultaneously be like, go home and then script a response to every little thing and act like that's like the same thing. But whatever. It shouldn't really matter if you watch the entire thing, right? If you watch the entire thing, then it really shouldn't matter. Cause me psychic damage if I was too much of Ethan. I don't know how you do it.
Stay out of the drama as much as possible. You don't want to pile on and add to anything. Sounds like a good idea.
That was just a couple of weeks ago, really. When was that? I don't know.
3 weeks ago? How long was it?
Yeah, it was really.
I've seen you around a few times, but if these jerk offs dislike you, you gotta have good content, to be honest. That's my philosophy. Welcome in. Hello. Hello. He skips part of it. I know. I was making a joke. He does skip part of it. I have a tweet about him skipping part of it. Right here. We'll get to that in a second.
So at any rate, here's where we left off. So without further ado, this is me reacting to every second of this man's takedown of me, fearlessly, heroically, something that Hassan in his wildest dreams could never achieve. Because
also, Almighty, thank you for the 3-month subscription. Wait, hold on. Wait, run it back. I'm sorry. Run it back. Run that by me one more time. Also, People Kiss, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. And Strum Dog, thank you for the gifted sub as well. Run that back, please.
Here's where we left off. So without further ado, this is me reacting to every second of this man's. Really. So at any rate, here's where we left off. So without further ado, this is me reacting to every second of.
Every second, he says. Every second, he says. Hold on to that thought, chat. Hold on to that thought. Hold on to that thought. And for posterity's sake, in episode 137 of the H3 show, titled Reacting to the entire iDubbbz content cop, where he starts off by saying he's reacting to every second of it. I want you to remember that.
This man's takedown of me, fearlessly, heroically, something that Hassan in his wildest dreams could never achieve because he's a coward.
Oh my God.
I know it. Prove me wrong, then. Prove me wrong.
And then turning around and being like, this is fearless and heroic of me to respond live after going home and scripting your response to the entire video to then regurgitate live and then acting like you're the brave person and Hassan's the coward. Come on. Let's be serious here.
Oh, that's right.
I know, man. Anyway, go on, Ian. Let's continue.
To me,
It's just incredible who ends up being the good guys in this story. You know, it's really something.
so yeah, the reason I'm bringing this up is because they're trying to like paint themselves as the good guys, and they're saying like, yeah, we strongly disavow things that are said, even about our enemies. We are the most immoral people on the internet, unlike Ian and Anissa, who are fucking keeping to themselves. Also, why the fuck does Olivia get the pass?
What a fucking ass. By the way, truly remarkable act of cowardice. One thing that these snarkers and critiquers have consistently done is include the crew in like a totally unnecessary way with the explicit purpose of trying to drive a wedge in our team, because they will not be happy until I am alone and have no support in the entire world. And
This is so funny to say when like this is your entire MO. This is your entire MO with Hassan. He literally did it today, or not today, like yesterday or whatever. Being like, oh, Theo Von, they let you want to know what Hassan is getting up to, don't you? So he can do it. But when you point out how the crew who are a part of the content, right, are put in a terrible position by Ethan, the boss, that's people trying to drive a wedge between Ethan and the crew. Okay. All right, yes, Ethan, you are victim. You victim, no perpetrator. You are good and moral and just.
that's why he brings this up. And it's obvious because it's such a poorly conceived point. It's kind of hard to even understand his point. He goes on to talk about Adam McIntyre in a really bizarre way. Here, take a look. So for putting you in that position.
Like, again, I feel like this is cowardice. Right? Pre-watching the entire nuke, or the nuke, the whatever it's called, like the content cop, pre-watching the entire content cop and coming with like preconceived points about like, oh, this is what he says in the future, actually. Like, take a look at this. It's cowardly. He's trying to put on this front of like, oh, which is why I told you he was going to do this the day where he watched the first part. Right? The day where he watched the first 17 minutes. It took him 3 hours to do so. I told you he was stalling and pausing after every phrase, essentially, so that he can go home and then prepare talking points and come back being like, I'm going to react to all of it live. And then he still doesn't even react to all of it live. He still doesn't react to all of it live. Like, that's the craziest part. Even while giving himself an out and going home to script, talking points or steal talking points for the entire content cop, even after spending days on that, he still couldn't find a good enough justification that wouldn't make him look bad to him yelling at his employees live on air. And so he just cut that part out. He just skipped that part because he's a coward. He's a coward. And now he's going to try to pretend like, I reacted to the entire thing, which is why nobody should let him get away with that. Legitimately. Nobody should let him get away with that. Whenever he tries to say anything, it's just, why did you skip that part of the content cop? Why was that why did you skip that part? Interesting. Why did you skip that part of the content cop? He was the play. He was being me in normal volume. Yeah. He just claims the AB part is not that bad. Yeah. He's like, I'm going to explain what this part is actually about, and then we're going to skip it.
Olivia, you're friends with him, and you don't have to say anything, but like, what a fucking piece of shit. What a bad friend to put you in that position just for some fucking clout. It gets people angry at you, like, how can she be friends with him, which is total bullshit, okay? Olivia did not do anything. And
I want the pass. Do I have to be an employee to get that treatment? Because then you'll just see me as an ally? Or is it because Ethan is afraid of wrongful termination accusations and lawsuits?
And also, I don't mind putting my friend Olivia, who's apparently my real friend, in a terribly weird, fucking uncomfortable situation where you end up getting hate for no reason.
Also, don't frame it as like other people making it hard on Olivia. You're making it hard on all of these people. Please acknowledge your role in this whole fucking thing. Like, it's crazy how warm Ethan is.
Dan was trying to sabotage me. He put a script on my computer to disable the pause.
Oh, also, I want to point out, like, Dan gets zero credibility after this episode, by the way. Dan is, like, on the same level as Ethan. He's been inching closer to there, right, for the past few months, right, or for the past year. But, like, now he's aligned himself with the sinking ship. He has declared himself vice captain and has stated that he's going down with the ship. That's it. Even Olivia, who was there, who chimed up at a few times, right, was quiet most of the episode. AB's literally not even here. After they disappeared AB has not come back. Right? But Dan has taken a stand. Olivia is done to me out of charitability for her too. What Olivia is doing is different than what Dan is doing, right? I'm not saying you have to like Olivia or whatever, but like what Dan is doing is like superseding the normal level of like, okay, I'm just here for my paycheck, right? I want to get paid, whatever, right? Dan is like, no, I am engaging with crashing this ship into the iceberg. I am taking the reign of this ship and crashing it directly into the iceberg. And I think Dan knows better. I think Dan knows better and knows this is bad for Ethan. He knows that Ethan is crashing out, and he's actively being like, I want to participate in this crash out. Wait, Ethan, scoot over a little bit. Let me take the reins. I want to crash this ship into an iceberg too. That's what Dan is doing. That's it. That's what Dan is doing. And it's gross. It's gross. It's gross. Loses all charitability. Honestly, he didn't have much when he was insinuating that Noah Samson was a rapist. Right? He didn't have much left. Didn't have much left. I'll tell you that. But here, he's very clearly picking his side, right? It's no longer, I'm just here for my job and I want to get paid. Like, no. He's like, I'm going down with the ship. I will ride for Ethan until the day I die, essentially.
Pause button.
We all thought it was a great idea.
Not today. Not today.
I thought maybe I'd try and get out of here by like 4:30 or so, you know?
That's not happening.
Oh, man.
Speaking of eating, we're gonna have to order food today because this boy's going for a long time. I'm gonna go back because we weren't paying attention. So his point is that because I said Adam McIntyre put Olivia in a weird position, that I shouldn't have criticized him for being friends with people who are calling CPS.
Yeah, we strongly disavow things that are said, even about
And he always says being friends with people that have called CPS with no evidence, by the way. Even if you want to claim that Denim's community called CPS, which you also have no evidence for either, right? He's now claiming that Denim's picked up a phone physically, typed in the number to CPS, and gave CPS Ethan's information. And he's claiming that Ian and Anissa being friends with Denim, somebody who called CPS, right, is invalid and they're bad friends to Ethan because they're friends with Denims who called CPS, which is no evidence for at all. No evidence for in the slightest at all.
We are the most immoral people on the internet, unlike Ian and Anissa, who are fucking keeping to themselves. Also, why the fuck does Olivia get the pass?
What a fucking asshole for putting you in that position, Olivia. No, I think the fundamental premise that's completely inappropriate here is that somehow...
And I just want to imagine Ethan, Hila, and Dan all on like a Discord or a Zoom call, screen sharing the content cop and coming up with the talking points together. Right? Coming up with the talking points together. And like typing it out into a document. To be like, this is you should respond in this way. You should respond in this way. Probably Giardia too. Oh, 100% Giardia too. Right? Going to their subreddit, which is basically the Destiny subreddit at this point, and pulling clips from there. Dan said he didn't watch it. He didn't watch it all, but who knows? Sure. You're telling me Dan, Twitter terrorist Dan, like, who played Twitter terrorist and co-signed it for Ethan, did not watch the content cop? Sure. They literally hands him a script? Yeah. Sure. Sure. All right. Who's Giardia? The Hassan Stalker person. Which I don't think that's her name. I just don't want to know her. I don't know what her name is. So chat keeps calling her Giardia, and I just don't, I can call her the Hassan Stalker person too. Her name is Gallia. Okay, Gallia. The most Dan did was push back weekly on Ethan calling Ian a Holocaust denier, and even then he was kind of like, sure. Wait, really? That's actually not surprising. I'm pretty sure her name is Giardia.
Adam McIntyre just being a dickhead is equivalent to your friends, your associates, and your now collaborators supporting, encouraging people to literally call CPS to come take my children away.
Which also, like, can we now say, because last night we did make sure we finished the video and watched everything, there was not even one mention of CPS in the whole video.
He didn't find that to be relevant. He skirted next to it.
Okay, like, they're not even hiding that the fact that, like, yeah, no, last time we watched the entire thing and crafted talking points. Like, that's cowardly, right? That's cowardly. That is a cowardly thing to do. Right? That is a cowardly thing to do.
He kind of like skirted past it, but he never bothered to explain. And a lot of the clips he uses is us fired up from the day that CPS came to us.
So, like,
without even explaining that at least that's the context, it's pretty cowardly.
I'm shocked. Yeah.
This whole video has left me utterly shocked, frankly. It's
a pretty big omission.
It's a very big omission.
Yeah, it's pretty glaring.
Shut up, Dick Ryder.
And like, listen, I'm not one to be like context. I mean, it is important, but that's like Hassan's thing. He just says it, reacts.
But like, again, this is the exact same thing that what he's claiming that like he did in like the nuke. Shut up, Dan. Who's Dan? All I know is Ethan, Hila, and Dick Ryder. Like, they refuse to show like any context that Hassan had for the clips that they clipped him out of context for. And they're like, why is Ian doing this to me? Why is Ian doing this to me?
About anything without actually knowing what was said or anything. But this is important context.
It's like the main big event that this caused our reaction to so many things, and then he just shows our reaction without saying what happened.
By the way, something else he conveniently leaves out is his friend Denims, who he co-signs, includes in this video, defends heroically. But he doesn't include actually is well, this clip, which is going to be very painful for him to watch, but I play it for posterity's sake only. This could be why I was upset at Denham's and why I dared to utter the unforgivable B word towards her. Well, actually, no, that was because she was denying rape. This is, it all kind of culminated, let's be real. She's not a great person. Anyway, Ian, I hope you watch this part here. Denham should host this and see what she says. And then now we wonder why people are calling Child Protective Services.
But they called it before I even did the stream.
This was before. This was like basically 2 days before CPS came to our house. Here she is watching Bad Empanada. Once again, someone that Ian takes no acknowledgement of, despite him constantly being on the screen, constantly being like the source of a lot of information that these people are sharing. This man, he did a game role play where he kills Ewa.
Yeah, and he's definitely a piece in the puzzle in a lot of these situations that is also left out for no reason.
Yeah, so I mean, like he shows Matt Lieb, for example, and he's just like, oh, he just hates Matt Lieb because he's anti-Zionist. It's like, no, I was very, I'm getting ahead of myself. I want to keep the criticisms to the exact moments. I'm just going to play it, but yeah, his total omission of the existence of Bad Empanada, who's one of like the greatest internet provocateurs of all time, someone who's been decried by Hassan himself until he became his lapdog. Everybody knows this guy's a lunatic. Like, it is not a secret. Go on.
Leaves the shit on the floor, something that is probably related to the fact that his former housekeeper is suing him for a number of different reasons.
Now pay
so
attention to her
chat. Have a housekeeper anymore, or perhaps he lost his extra housekeeper. So now the house is just like...
All right, everybody pay attention to the chat. Pay attention to the chat that is going on based upon what's on the screen here. All right, I don't know what this is, but like this is the chat that is referencing what's on the screen here. It's directly above her. Everybody pay attention to that. You hear what Ethan said? He said, pay attention to this chat. This is the chat that is on referencing what's on the screen. The real-time chat. Everybody pay attention to it.
Covered in dog shit.
What?
He has
Ethan, I hate to do this. It seems like you're kind of in the way. You're kind of in the way of the real-time chat here that you want us to look at. Can you scoot just a little bit, just a little, just scoot over just a little bit so we can see the chat. So we can see the chat.
Kids, and his kids like crawl into the dog shit, and God forbid, I don't know.
Now this is Denham's reacting to this 2 days before CPS was called, and let's just take a look at the chat. It's called CPS. Child.
This isn't the Ethan. Okay. You know what? This is an honest mistake. I can see why you're confused. This is a screenshot. This is a scrolling screenshot. This is not the live chat. You're actually you're covering the live chat actually. So if you can just scoot out the way, just scoot out the way. I would love to see what the chat is saying in this moment. Not whatever this screenshot is. Just let me screenshot. It's another spliced image.
Damon CPS, social service. Bro needs to unironically call CPS. That's child endangerment. Okay, if his kids have Giardia, they actually need to be taken away. Actual worst father ever. Wow. So Ethan isn't only sexualizing underage girls, he's also neglecting children. Okay. Kleiner needs to take care of his kids. What the fuck? Giardia means you're leaving your dog shit on the floor for a while and your kids are walking on it, probably eating it, etc., etc., etc. The chat goes on and on and on. So, yeah.
What they do with it. I don't know if they eat it or if it's just from like contact with it with their hands or something, but they contracted a parasite that I had previously never heard of in my life called Giardia.
Giardia, by the way, extraordinarily common, that dogs and people actually even contracting that disease.
Especially Puppy that we just got, that happens a lot.
Yeah, it happened with Ducky. He had it too when we got it. It's very common, and they're feigning.
Man, it seems like I just think that it's slightly weird that like, you know, everything that is surrounding Ethan just has the poop disease. I don't know. That's just weird to me. Like legitimately, I'm not even making any claims. But like it just it's just that is something that is kind of weird. He's like, no, see, everybody around me has Giardia. Just all of it. Everybody here has Giardia.
Like this is some exotic disease. Anyway, it doesn't even matter really because nobody ended up even having Giardia except Olive.
The dog shit that is all over his house.
Man, if only Ethan, you know, I don't know, did not say that claim live on his stream. Maybe. I'm sorry. What is this? Ethan? What is this? What is this here? I thought this was a live scrolling chat feed. You told me this was a live scrolling chat feed. Why do I see clippings of other messages above this message as though it was edited together. Any messages on the live chat have that? Ethan, what is this? This one's right beside your head. It's right next to you. How can you miss this? Why is this live chat that you are showing this one doesn't even extend all the way? Now I'm confused. Now I am confused. This live chat feature doesn't seem very live chat. It seems like this was something that was edited and spliced together, potentially in Photoshop, to give the appearance as though these are all messages coming one after the other and not, I don't know, messages taken all throughout the day, potentially, from different parts of the stream, deceptively edited together to serve a specific purpose. Now that's a bit weird. That's a bit interesting. Now I want to listen to Ethan's point. I want to understand what Ethan's point is. If only he wasn't, I don't know, covering up the actual live chat so I can see what people are saying in this moment. I don't know. Maybe he's correct. Maybe he's right. Maybe people in this moment were talking about, I'm going to go, call CPS on him right now or whatever. But that's not what I see. I can't even see the live chat. Yeah, interesting.
Dude, how is
also I'm joking right now, obviously. But even if this was a scrolling live chat of Denims' chat, which is not, but even if it was, right, there's a very easy fix to this. Maybe don't say on your own podcast that, or don't imply that your kids are crawling around and potentially ingesting dog poop on your podcast. Maybe don't do that. I don't know. Because that's what Ethan did. Like, let's be very clear here. That is what Ethan did. Ethan implied that his kids were crawling, and he could have been exaggerating. He could have been lying because it's comedy, because haha, poop comedy, right? He implied that his kids were crawling around, putting things in their mouth, right? Then the kids got Giardia, and then also said the only way to get Giardia is from ingesting poop. That's what he said. I'll say it again. Ethan Klein said his kid had Giardia because they crawl around and put things in their mouth, and then also claimed that the only way to get Giardia is from eating poop. Said that on his own stream. That's what he said. That's what he said. He said those things. So maybe, do I think he was being truthful? Not really. I don't know, right? But I can see a world, because Ethan does make, crass jokes, that he was just, joking for comedic effect. But maybe don't tell jokes about your kids eating poop on your podcast. Maybe stop talking about your kids on your podcast entirely. Maybe don't, bring your kids into the content life Well, you know that there are psychotic people who will do psychotic things. I don't understand how this is not the normal person take. Stop talking about your kids on your podcast. Stop. Like, stop talking about your kids. Take Bill Burr's advice. I just love that we're going to be a segment in the future. H3 decline videos. Dog poop gate. Don't show your kids or talk about them. It's simple as that. It is.
This true?
Like maybe once a week, I look into what Ethan Klein's been up to, and every time I manage to find more and more terrible shit. This is where Ethan tells a story about his family getting Giardia.
Call CPS. He advocates for a fascist apartheid state, doxes random people, endangers his children. Dogs getting Giardia is not uncommon, but your kids getting it means you're not cleaning up your dog shit. Motherfucker. Okay, well, at least someone's halfway there. Motherfucker's family rooting around in dog shit. Call CPS. Ethan's fighting shadows in his basement. He was wearing diapers. Dogs are shitting all over the house. California Child Protective Services, where are you? Child Protective Services alert. Imagine being such a bad parent. You didn't notice your child ate shit. His child ate shit, ate dog shit, and got an ancient disease from it. Child could die.
Like, this is what Ethan Klein was implying, by the way. What the chatters are saying here is what Ethan Klein was implying. He said that because his kids were putting stuff in their mouth, they crawl around putting stuff in their mouth, you know, they got Giardia. And then he said that you know, you have to ingest dog poop in order to get Giardia. That's what he said. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you.
Has
why is this only in my left ear?
Giardia, which is it's a bacterial.
Like, I would be very happy not to talk about this any longer, right? Well, he's not being truthful about this
infection in the intestines that makes you have diarrhea.
And Olive has this?
Olive has this. Yeah, she came to us with it.
Okay.
She had diarrhea.
Clause number 1: the dog has Giardia. Right? And here, I'll be fair. Right? And dog has Giardia. Oh, wait, okay, this does it for me. Never mind. I don't even have to do it. Olive has Giardia and diarrhea.
Sonny's crawling around. He's putting everything in his mouth. He's at that age. He has Giardia.
Oh, shit.
His son is crawling around, putting everything in his mouth, and he has Giardia.
Oh,
and now Ela has Giardia.
Shut. For real?
So when he claims that only the dog had Giardia, he made the other claim. He's the person who claimed otherwise. So then he crawls around and put everything in his mouth. He has Giardia.
What can I do to not get it from you?
I'm trying to...
Because I'm not trying to get
Can
that.
we crank the AC, maybe?
Is it?
It's extremely ridiculous to get. You have to ingest my poop.
You have to ingest poop to get Giardia. These are all things that he said on his podcast. His dog had Giardia and diarrhea. His son was crawling around, putting everything in his mouth, and he has Giardia. And Giardia is so hard to get, you have to ingest poop to get Giardia. Of course, people are going to assume from what you say, your son was crawling around, eating dog shit somehow, some way, and now has Giardia. It doesn't matter if they have Giardia or not have Giardia, because you said that they did, right? It doesn't matter if they weren't eating poop or not eating poop, because you said you have to eat poop to get Giardia. And yeah, he took it back. He said like, oh, now only Olive had Giardia. You know, nobody else had Giardia. But what do you think people who watch your podcast are going to think? Maybe, and again, this entire thing could have been a joke. He could have been making a very elaborate joke about how his wife and his child ingested dog poop and got Giardia. He could have been joking about the entire thing, but don't joke about that. That's my take. Do not joke about that. That is not something you should be joking about on your podcast. Stop putting your child's health information out on your podcast when you know you have insane haters. You're stupid. You're dumb. You are dumb. You're dumb. Why would you do this? Why would you do this? And even despite all of that, there's still no evidence that the call came from Denims or someone in Denims' community. None. None. Dude, there's no evidence. Look at any like piece of media, a tweet, a video or whatever, where somebody talks about them like putting their kid in danger or whatever. If somebody talks about, yeah, I had a dog and my dog picked up my baby and ran away with my baby for 20 minutes or whatever, all the comments will be like, hey, someone should tell CPS about this. Hey, somebody should check in on that family. Someone should do a wellness check. That doesn't mean that they called CPS on that family. It doesn't mean that they called CPS on that mother or whatever, right? It's just, that's what the YouTube, or the comments you always are. If you make a claim, right, that implies your kids are in danger, people are going to say, man, someone should check on those kids. Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about?
Have so many dogs if they don't take care of them. Again, it goes. I encourage you to pause it and read these. But this is the context that was not mentioned. He says, "Wow, Ethan is such a bad dude, and he's so mean to Denims."
And then there's the one thing I forgot we do need to mention is that the top right is the full chat, right?
Yeah. So just to make a correction.
Okay.
This is the live chat.
Okay.
This is a highlight of all the CPS calls, which, by the way, is extraordinarily large amount. It's something like 50-something chats over the course of like 3 minutes. And that is basically your entire chat putting forth this notion of calling CPS unmoderated, unchecked.
That's not what that means. That's also not even true. Like, not even all of these messages are even about CPS, which is kind of the crazy part. Not even all these messages are about CPS. Like, even what's on the screen right now, right? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of the messages that are currently on the screen right now directly reference CPS. Unless Ethan is saying, oh, well, you can't even reference Ethan at all. Or you want him to die or whatever. Like, you want like harassment to go his way. Like, this comment just says, Citizen Hugo chat, but I grew up in a not great household. My did not get Giardia. Calls for CPS per minute. Yeah.
Uncorrected. This is the behavior that Ian is explicitly co-signing by having her do an L Fortnite dance on me and not explaining.
And this is also insane because like this is exactly what Ian is saying, and he's saying that Ian, you know, Ian's silence is not an endorsement of like even if we're gonna get a lot of ifs, even if every single one of these messages was an explicit call for like whatever, right? Calling CPS, right? Explicit call for calling CPS. Also, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Explicit call for calling CPS. Even if that was the case, right? And then explicitly was like, yes, you should call CPS. That is not an endorsement of calling CPS from Ian. Like, it's not. It's not. It's not an endorsement for calling CPS from Ian.
Actually angry that it seems like she's directly responsible for CPS coming to my house in the morning.
And like, that's, again, you can't say that. That's not, there's no evidence for that. He has not provided any evidence that CPS is directly responsible for calling CPS, or that, sorry, the Denims was directly responsible for CPS showing up to their house. He has zero evidence for that claim. None.
Explaining why I'm actually angry, that it seems like she's directly
Video Trey Monkey dancing and clapping for Ida's video. I'm pretty sure Hila said that.
responsible for CPS coming to my house in the morning and interviewing my children.
We want to stay out of the drama.
Now, do you not have a problem with that, Ian? Because it doesn't seem like you do. And if that's the case, I really got to say, I don't think you're the good guy in this situation, buddy.
It's just not the
who you are.
case.
Who killed Ian and brought in
Oh, okay.
this fucking weird clone? You know they say the clone is always dumber? She's like the 5th iteration. Like, what happened to the other 4 iDubbbz?
I don't think anyone deserves that level of cruelty. Or
I know,
hate.
man. I know.
We want to stay out of the drama.
You remember that movie Duplicity? He's like the fifth one. It's like drooling.
I don't know why they do the L dance overlay. It looks like a Snark edit. It does. Like it does look like something that like Snark would like put over Ethan's video to like make Ethan look stupid.
No.
We want to stay out of the drama.
You remember that movie Duplicity? He's like the fifth one. It's like drooling.
Old Mondays. Now we have shit Saturdays.
Also, this is not a joking matter, but it can be very severe and deadly to small children. I mean, much like many other
Reading the
illnesses,
chat,
it's
co-signing
very,
it.
very, very dangerous when infants
Pretending to have some medical knowledge.
get the same sicknesses that adults get. There are lots of things that you can get as an adult.
You're actually so stupid.
Not an ounce of pushback of saying, hold on, guys, maybe you're being maybe you're being a little ridiculous.
She encourages it. And she's saying that, oh, wow, babies can't get the same diseases as adults. It's like, you are obviously
like, okay.
childless. And as I said in the content, it will clearly remain that way because
CBS explained that it wasn't an internet hater who called them at the second visit because they stopped making mad accusations until iDubbbz dropped. I mean, again, that came from Ethan. My response is that we don't know. We have zero idea how much knowledge or how truthful Ethan is about this entire situation. We don't. We don't know. We don't know how truthful Ethan Klein is about CPS showing up and saying it was somebody that they know, about CPS, or like lying about someone they know. Or, we don't know. We have no idea. Right? We just don't know. We have no clue. Right? And so I can only make statements based upon the evidence that I've seen. And he's not provided any evidence that he was lying or joking about, the Giardia thing, besides him being like, I don't even know if he addressed it. Right? He just looks at this chat and he's like, they called CPS. There's no evidence that Denim's chat called CPS. There's no evidence that Banana called CPS. And there's no way that we're gonna know. We got 100 gifted on YouTube. Wait, did I? Yo, I did. Members go up. Thank you for the 100 gifted. I apologize. I don't look at YouTube that often. Yo, much appreciated. It's still going too. Thank you for the 100 members on YouTube. There's only 140 people there too. So like, chat, if you didn't get gifted a sub on YouTube, that's kind of an L for you. I'm gonna be real. You drew the short straw today. Now I have to start looking at YouTube chat. It's still going. It's still going. That's crazy. Chat, maybe you should be in YouTube chat. You feel me? Huge W, former E supporter. Huge W, former E supporter. There's Go Up used to gift a ton of members to H3. They're goated now. W. I can't chat on Twitch because I've used to verify my account sitting close to my phone. Oh, I'm sorry, chatter. I think we could probably turn that off. I think email verification should also still work. I don't know if Katie can check that and see. Yeah, you need to have an account older than 6 months. No. I don't know, actually, the difference is. But you should just try verifying your email. It should work in lieu of phone number. Here, I'll keep YouTube chat open. As long as you're checking on YouTube chat, it's fine. Yeah, I'll check it on YouTube chat every now and then. Can't get the membership because I have an official account or whatever. Oh, wait, really? That's a shame. But yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Did I get one? No, you did not. Unfortunate. Ethan's literally kind of person accusing is the kind of person of accusing Denim of calling CPS, but will literally call Ice on Hassan and Frogan because they made fun of Ethan's content cop intro. It's a bit of who has been keeping who has to keeping pay his crew to be his friend. Yeah. Sorry, I can't read. One of the snarks turned me into a Sean Industrial Complex is real. Thank you. Welcome in. We don't have a widespread complex of people editing because my chat sucks at editing. No, I'm sorry. But yeah, welcome in. I was a YouTube chat yesterday. That's a shame. Does Sean neglect YouTube chat? Maybe. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, much appreciated.
I don't think you'd be a good girlfriend or wife just because you're very mean. Okay? I wouldn't want to be with someone this mean, frankly. And so that's the reason why I think she'll be childish. But that's just my opinion. Good luck out there.
You're totally fine. You'll be A-okay. No problem. A child, a small infant that has no immune system, shouldn't be catching anything.
You literally just explained why infants catch everything. Should I go back? Are you too... She's actually so dumb. She doesn't even know the words are coming out of her mouth. And this isn't even the first time she's perpetually self-owning herself.
That has no immune system, shouldn't be catching anything.
Just followed you on YouTube,
baby who has no immune
more
system.
of it. Thank you. I need to make more YouTube videos. Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
What's the immune system for? To stop diseases and infections, to battle them, rather to fight them. And what happens if you don't have an immune system? You get sick more. Yeah. I learned that in medical school, which is apparently some deep medical knowledge that she does not have access to.
No wonder his house is covered in dog shit, and his neglected children raised by nannies have contracted parasites previously unknown to science from the feces. I wonder why he skipped over all of this, because everything that he said, everything that I said in this story, which by the way was apparently compiled by his crew.
No wonder this motherfucker's always sick. Yeah, it all makes sense now. It all makes sense.
I have 3 kids under the age of 5. Again.
Only make edits for Ludwig from gaming? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, can I just... How long does he spend on denims?
Hey, you're a moral baby. You're so undeveloped, bro.
Different perspectives.
Gary V's got better perspectives on this, you know. Anywho, okay. Olivia did not do anything. And
I want the pass. Do I have to be an employee to get that treatment? Because then you'll just see me as an ally? Or
it's so pathetically dumb. And I said when you were in the bathroom, I just explained that, like, if Adam McIntyre was saying, like, doing what she did, being like, oh, let's call CPS, he's an abuser, he neglects his children, like, we need to call CPS, et cetera, I would be mad at you. Equally. That would be a big problem with me. And it's something, by the way, that you would never do. Obviously, right? Like, let's be real here, you fucking dumbass. A lot of this is just like, you're so dumb. Yeah. You're dumb. Or bad faith. What happened, bro? Like, what happened? What is happening? I'm like, it is surreal. It just...
Like, thank you for the 18-month free subscription. Much appreciated.
I don't think anyone deserves that level of cruelty or hate.
Hello, new here. I'm Sean.
Anyway, here's Ian tearing up the Quran.
There was an electronics place, and it's the full-blown Quran. Some of you guys...
this one, we didn't actually even want to show it. So here, you can just switch off.
Bad and I when I broke that Jesus VHS over my knee.
Here he tears it at the seam.
But I know there's gonna be a lot of people in the audience just cringing when my money.
Yeah, so he just tore a Quran in half, which I don't think is probably a good thing to do. You know, insane.
Or is it because Ethan is afraid of wrongful termination accusations and lawsuits?
And also, I don't mind. Again, he does this. By the way, his video is literally like co-written by the Snark subreddit, which tells you everything you need to know if you know what.
This is so funny to do when, like, he literally wrote the response last night. What the hell? Let's be real.
That means he's world building. He does this thing where they basically like dream of a scenario where I'm being nice to Olivia because I'm afraid she's going to sue me. It's like, how did you even leap? There's like 3 leaps in logic of assumptions. And the fact that point made it into this video as some assertion of fact is truly remarkable stuff. Truly. Putting my friend Olivia, who's apparently my real friend, in a terribly weird, fucking uncomfortable situation where you end up getting hate for no reason.
Also, don't frame it as like...
And, like the point was to also, like, I felt like his criticism wasn't really necessary. He was just being mean for the sake of being mean and trying to get like clout with Snark. So obviously he did make a decision in that point to choose clout over Olivia, in my opinion, because people are in a really bad situation. So anyway, I don't need to explain anymore. It's dumb. You're dumb. It's wrong. You're pathetic. Moving on.
Other people making it hard on Olivia. You're making it hard on all of these people. Please acknowledge your role in this whole...
What is hard? What's happening?
That's another Snark talking point. Is that the crew is just suffering.
They're secretly grumbling,
here, and they really don't want to be here.
My grumbling is not secret.
Very public.
Very public.
That's true. People constantly forget the...
Dan, you fuck!
What a pain in the ass you are. They always leave that out.
Where's AB, by the way? Where's AB, by the way? Just curious. Just curious.
Yeah, okay, so I'm ruining the life of everyone on my crew, who, by the way, is a slave and here against their will.
Oh my god, people are saying we just made 1 minute in the video.
Oh god, this is why I'm turning the plug-in back on. I gotta turn it back on.
I can't. It's so bad.
You gotta just
Every
save
minute
it.
is just drenched and oozing in pathetic hypocrisy and erroneous fucking assumptions.
It's a nightmare. It really is a nightmare.
It's a nightmare. I've only made it 1 minute, you guys. I don't know what to do.
And he left so much out. It's like we have to explain all the shit that he didn't include.
Right.
Rush this stupid video.
Just look at it.
Now we gotta do the work.
Well, the CPS omission is a big one because a lot of this centers around
A lot of it.
And so
Like-
maybe now that it's been established, you won't have to re-explain it over and over.
No. Good point. We're just laying some fundamental.
Again, like this is why Dan. I'm sorry, not Dan. Dick Ryder. I don't know who Dan is. This is why Dick Ryder is like, you know, like again, just dick riding. By like CPS omission, they mean by not doing propaganda for Ethan. Right? That's it. That's it. They mean not doing propaganda for Ethan. Because the only person who's like, oh, the CPS situation or whatever is just Ethan claiming with no evidence that Denham's directly was responsible for CPS being called. That's it. They're mad that Ian did not use their word as evidence that Denham's was responsible for CPS being called. That's it. That's what they're mad about. They're mad that Ian was not like, well, Denham's probably called CPS on them. That's a bad thing. There's no evidence. No evidence. There's zero evidence that Denham's was responsible for CPS being called. There's zero evidence that Denham's community called CPS on Ethan. There's zero evidence that a Redditor or a snarker or an H3 hater or whatever called CPS on Ethan. There's zero evidence of it. So they're mad that Ian is not levying a claim that has, with zero evidence, to defend Ethan. Right? This is something I was critical of like a lot of the space about. Like Philip DeFranco, who just took Ethan's word for it and be like, yeah, it was probably a snarker or a hater, when there was no evidence that it was a snarker or a hater. It is equally as likely, right, that somebody within Ethan Klein's actual life called CPS on him that it was a snarker or a hater. It's equally as likely, if not more likely, because Ethan Klein himself said it was somebody that he knows. Ethan said it. Ethan said that the CPS agent that came to his house told him that it was somebody that he knows. That is what Ethan Klein himself said. He said that. His own words. Is it truthful? Was he being genuine? I don't know. But I'm telling you that that's what he said. Right? Ethan Klein's claim is that somebody impersonated somebody that he knows based upon information that he gave out publicly on his podcast to call CPS on him and have CPS showed up at his house. That is what Ethan Klein claimed. That is the claim that Ethan Klein made. But for some reason, everybody, including Ethan Klein, have now switched their perspective that it must be like a hater. Must be a hater who called CPS from Denham's community. And everybody's just like, well, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm sure. Okay. When there's no evidence that's the case. And there's actually evidence of the contrary. Definitely shouldn't have brought up the CPS thing at all. Even if a snarker did it, it makes it worse. He wanted to be a bludgeon for the haters and the bludgeon in Ananisa. If everything happened exactly as he claims, as Ethan Klein claims it happened, he should stop talking about his kids and their health and what goes on in his personal life on his podcast. Not, I don't know, bring his children with their faces on their podcast. If you genuinely think a snarker took the personal information that you put out on your podcast and impersonates someone in your real life to call CPS and get them sent to your house, maybe then you wouldn't, I don't know, bring your children on your podcast with their faces and blast it off to thousands of people. thousands upon thousands of live concurrent viewers. Maybe you wouldn't do that thing. Maybe that would be a stupid thing for you to do. I don't know. Is that crazy? Is that too crazy? Maybe don't do that.
Oh, you were agreeing with me. That no, the no. I was like, okay.
You know, on Wednesday, I accused Ian of getting his tattoos from a quarter windy toy station.
Yeah.
I apologize. Obviously, people make fun of my tattoos. I shouldn't have said that. What I should have said is he got his new personality from a 25% windy toy thing because it's very low quality.
You want to stay out of the drama?
Yeah, I know it.
Thing. Like, it's crazy how warm Ethan is to Olivia and saying how Olivia is essentially just a victim of this whole thing.
How are they spinning me being nice to Olivia as a bad thing?
Incredible.
God,
I guess people angry at you. Like, oh, how could you be friends with? What a point. What a fucking slam dunk. Man. What a slam dunk, man. His point is that I should have been mean to you, which is total bullshit.
But me and Anissa are spine.
I wonder why Olivia didn't speak there. I wonder why Olivia didn't say, man, you're such a great boss. Just wanna put that out.
Yep. Ethan, your whole system is scrambled.
No, your brain is scrambled.
You know who spoke up? Dan and Hila and Ethan. You know who didn't speak up? Olivia.
Punch you in the face too many times because you don't understand the situation. I shouldn't make fun of the CTE thing. That's a real complication. Right. Although I didn't choose to get in the ring and keep getting punched in the head like Homer Simpson against Mike Tyson, which is essentially what happened. I rooted for you 2 times, man. And it's like you just get punched in the head. And I told you even last time you were on the podcast, I said, you got to stop fighting and try to make some money from this. And he's like, I can get punched in the head more. And at a certain point, you get punched in the head so many times, you don't know when to stop getting punched in the head. And it just runs. It's a runaway train.
My intention isn't to throw the employees under the bus like you got.
Oh, so humanistic.
It's very clean. You should have just not gone there in the video.
So nice. Also, it's really a bad point. Like, it's so unnecessary to his entire thesis. Which, by the way, I don't really know what his thesis is.
Why are you mean to him and not to everybody else around you?
That's kind of I mean, we could try. I'd like to try to formulate a thesis at the end of this, but I really have to play.
I serve as the fucking foundation for calling out Ethan's hypocrisy on the whole subject, and I know that you guys have probably pushed back against Ethan over the years. How often are you supposed to do that?
Again, we're world building, presuming to know the inner workings of what happens behind the scenes with the crew, is just an insane point.
Wait, I thought y'all were best friends. What happened to y'all being such good friends? You defend each other all the time. He comes on your podcast and stuff. So now Ethan knows nothing about. I'm sorry. Now Ian knows nothing about the interworkings of your podcast. I thought y'all were such good friends that you demanded that he defend you, I thought you demanded he defends you because you let him on your podcast when nobody else would. But now he knows nothing about how the podcast works. That's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting. That's interesting.
In a video that's supposed to be like a reputable, well-conceived takedown.
Have to do that every fucking week? It kind of seems like.
You know, I can tell your parents don't love you, Ian, and I think it's a shame that they didn't shower you with more love because clearly, no, I'm just going to assume his relationship with his parents and include that as a talking point. It's that dumb.
Mom, I'm sorry.
That being said, I do believe his parents love him. He seems to have a good relationship with them, which makes this all the more perplexing.
Like it. And that's exhausting. I don't want to confront.
Is that projection? I don't know Ethan's relationship with his parents, so I'm just saying that it's pretty interesting.
My boss. It's not my fucking job.
It's not your job, and you don't know anything about their job. What are you doing right now?
To confront my boss and say, today's segment on rapists and pedophiles.
What are you doing?
On Twitch was not like my favorite segment to be a part of.
Yeah, friends like the. What are you doing?
Just play the video, bro. Like, he literally paused in the middle of one sentence 2 separate times to say, "What are you doing?" He plays 2 seconds, pauses it. What are you doing? Plays 2 seconds, pauses it. What are you doing? He says the same thing after pausing 2 separate times before the point even comes out. Like,
I don't know anything about their job. What are you doing right now?
To confront my boss and say, today's segment on rapists and pedophiles.
What are you doing?
On Twitch was not like my favorite segment to be a part of.
Yeah, friends like the. What are you doing?
Like, that's crazy, right? That's crazy. What biting commentary? Like, what are you doing?
What are you talking?
What are you doing?
Talking about?
What are you doing?
He's cosplaying as an.
What are you doing?
Employee who's uncomfortable.
What are you doing?
Based on.
What are you doing?
A clip of me defending.
What are you doing?
Olivia, what is happening?
What is you doing? What are you doing?
Oh yeah, and are they good?
Now, did you understand any of what Ethan said there? any of what Ethan said there, I know it doesn't make sense normally, but do you even remember what Ethan was talking about for the last 20 seconds? That's why Ethan is doing what he's doing here. That's why Ethan is doing what he's doing here. He plays a few seconds and he pauses it, so you don't even remember what Ian was talking about. But like, oh no, don't worry. Ethan's going to explain it to you how he perceives it on his little script thing, right? On his little response script, so that you get how Ethan feels about it as opposed to what Ian was actually saying.
Good friends.
Yeah.
Anissa and Ian. Thanks, Anissa, for standing up for your girl.
Wait, so yeah, this clip isn't connected to that statement. I was really trying to unpack that. I don't know what his point was at all.
And that's part of my issue with this video too, is that like he's supposedly a good video maker and a good point maker. This video is just so disjointed, totally like fragmented. The arguments are not well thought out, well executed.
Man, if only we actually hear what the video is saying. Yeah, of course it's fragmented, Ethan. Because you keep pausing and talking for 5 minutes about a sensitive fragment. Of course it's disjointed. Of course it's not congruent. Of course it doesn't make sense.
It's just a mess. And so like his point is that because I was nice to Olivia, therefore all my employees are secretly in sleep.
How is that connected to like pushing back, like talking about some Predators of Twitch segment and how we didn't like it?
Why that? Like why that? At least make the why is that the example? Bro, you are so off.
Okay, now I gotta explain this point because it's actually a question that was asked. How does it relate? The point is that it should not be on the responsibility of the crew to push back whenever Ethan says something or does something stupid. That's what Ian's point is, right? That's it. Right? It should not be on the responsibility of the crew to be like, well, this segment you did today, I did not really much like, right? I didn't think it was very productive, right? It was pretty poor. I didn't like the man, Dan Clancy's a pedophile segment, actually. Right? That should not be an expectation you should have as being a crew member. Yeah, it's not their job. Just like it isn't Ian's responsibility to defend his friends. Exactly. Or friends, because like we know that Ethan views it as transactional. Like it's not a role that they have to fulfill, because it's not like, they shouldn't have to fulfill it. They should just be allowed to do their jobs and their roles without having to feel the need to step up and be like, okay, boss, we're doing an intervention now. Right? But Ethan is putting them in that position by being an insane person.
You're so weird. You're so weird, bro.
Actually stood up for you so many times, because like why would I not? It was crazy.
Yeah, why would you not? I mean, if that's truly what you believed and you weren't just going to use it later.
Of course I was going to.
Didn't plan to have to say that, by the way.
No.
It does become relevant though at a certain point when you're like, wow, these people are not really good friends of mine. Why is that happening?
This is the day, right? This is the day we got
CPS
the day
that CPS visited us.
When I was so fired up and I was like,
yes.
Yes. No, I didn't plan one day in my life to have CPS called on me and you would be friends with people that like created that talking point, or at least like made it popular, and you wouldn't say anything about them, and then I would call you out.
You also realize how the goalpost is shifting here? It went from Denim's called CPS to Denim's told people to call CPS to Denim's chat called CPS to Denim's made calling CPS a popular talking point. And all of those things are the same claim, right? To these people. Like, what does that even mean? What does it mean that Denim's made calling CPS a popular talking point? What does that mean? What does that mean? Like, genuinely, what does it mean to make calling CPS a popular talking point? Are you claiming that they actually called CPS? Right? Or are you claiming that like they made it a talking point and they didn't actually call CPS? I feel like that's an important distinction to make. It's either Denim's called CPS, you have evidence for, which they don't, or Denim's didn't call CPS.
Like, no, I never planned that day to come. And I never thought that I would have to be like, I stood up for you and you didn't. No.
It's all part of your sneaky Jew plan.
Right.
He didn't say that. It's just a little joke. I'm inserting.
But how are you going to show me in this state, one of our hardest days,
Horrible.
and you're not going to say why? What happened?
Totally justifiable anger.
I can't get over that point. I'm going to keep saying it all day probably.
No,
I just can't get over that it's not in the video.
It's very disturbing. I just don't know who this guy is. I really don't.
I'm going to stand by you. That's insane. It's absolutely insane and disgusting. But now you choose to hang out with people that would have a problem with you if you defended me.
Yep.
I'm not going to assume that Ela knows, but I'll say it for anyone who doesn't know. Anissa is half Lebanese and half Irish.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we know.
For anyone unfamiliar, the Irish have been on the receiving end of a lot of oppression and genocide. On the
Oh, wow.
part of the Lebanese, they've received a lot of oppression and attacks from the IDF. So Anissa is very well
And sir, do you happen to know of any violence perhaps coming towards Israel, where Ela grew up? Perhaps from Lebanon, Hezbollah, perhaps? Does that ring a bell to you, you dumb, ignorant fuck? How dare you attempt to lecture me on this conflict? You just learned about this like 2 weeks ago, clearly.
I just want to point out the fact that, like, Ian is talking about how his wife, right, is Lebanese and how, you know, Lebanon has been attacked by Israel. And he's like, well, have you considered how Israel feels about Lebanon? Right? Yes, like, Israel may have, like, you know, pretty flagrantly attacked Lebanon pretty consistently and violated ceasefires and has done one of the biggest terrorist attacks of like 2024 in killing children by doing the pager terrorist attack. But, like, have you considered the fact that, like, you know, Lebanon doesn't like Israel, so, like, it's all justified.
And you're just deferring to Hassan as an expert. It's mind-bendingly dumb.
But also, Hassan has nothing to do with this at this point. Like, and this is the problem, is that, like Ian and his wife, who's half Lebanese, cannot have a take on, like, you know, Israel in their attacking of Lebanon, right? Without it going back to Hassan for some reason. Ian didn't call Hassan an expert. Ian didn't talk about Hassan at all.
Bro, please call in and debate me on Israel-Palestine. Let's see who knows more about the conflict, you dumb fuck.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Ian. This is your moment. This is the moment. This is a debate challenge. This is a debate challenge. We can now accept this debate challenge. Oh, Hassan, what a freaking nightmare. Oh, Sam Cedar, what a freaking nightmare. He offered the challenge. He offered the challenge. I'm just saying.
Holy shit, dude.
Familiar with the propaganda and the shit coming out of Israel. Choosing now, out of all the times, to be like, please defend me. No, we're not gonna fucking defend you.
Okay, so this is very interesting. Wow. He says on the day that CPS was called and we're understandably heated, he goes, no, I'm not going to defend you. Why? Because you're Israeli.
You're Israeli.
That's literally what he said.
Yeah.
Why won't I defend you? Because you're Israeli. That's exactly his argument.
Maybe it's because you defend genocide. Maybe. Oh, I dropped my coffee. Maybe Anissa doesn't like you because you are defending genocide. You're defending the attacks against her people. He would never have a debate on terms he can't control. This is why he had Simpson to go against Crowder instead. I mean, yeah. Right? All you do is just hop on a little. Okay, okay. Let me be clear. I've thought about how, if I ever got extended a debate challenge, how I would possibly go about doing that. And I won't share my secrets, but he's only offered to debate, I think, Xander, who's like a random TikToker, and now Ian. Never offered to debate Mike, Denims, myself, Hassan. Definitely not Bad Abanata. Anissa too. Did he offer to debate Anissa? He offered to Anissa at some point.
Do I have it wrong?
Include the flags so a 5-year-old could understand what he was saying. So yes, that's what he was saying.
Okay. This stays between us, chat. This stays between you, me, and the 1,000 of you in here. Okay, just us. Imagine Ian pulls up, rocks up to like a Zoom call, doing the debate, And then Hassan walks out behind him in a cop uniform. Ian gets up, he walks away. Hassan sits down in the cop uniform to debate. Dog, cinema. That would be beautiful. I will allow this fan fiction. That would be funny. That would be funny. It's not gonna happen, obviously, but like that would be funny.
I feel like that's exactly what he's saying. And correct me if I'm wrong.
He put the Israel flag and he said, no, she's not going to defend you.
Yeah, I just don't want people to be like, that's not what he meant. I mean, I don't see it any other way.
Stop hallucinating anti-Semitism.
So once again, if you had a problem with Israel, dude, you could have had a problem with us when we were friends making videos and, you know, all of a sudden.
Yeah, maybe because they don't have a problem with like you being Israeli and more a problem with you defending Israel's genocide. I don't know. Maybe it's that. Like, this is perpetual victim complex, right? It's just so funny. It's so funny.
And now I'm not going to defend an Israeli.
Damn you, Jews!
I'm not going to defend an Israeli. Are you serious right now? It doesn't matter if they're right or if my friends are insanely harassing them.
Oh my God. Luke in the chat said, Eli's more Italian than Anissa is Lebanese.
That's a joke. I made that joke.
He said that this morning. That's so funny.
I'm not going to, listen, I'm not going to,
I don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter. I don't care. Like, this was us as friends. Apparently, you can't stand up to an Israeli. So that's exactly proving what our problem was with you.
Apparently, they secretly hated us.
Yes. So, like, you're exactly proving what the point was that we were making. So you can't stand up for me because I'm in Israel.
Israels are never worth defending. And Israel.
Yeah.
Anyone who's born in Israel. Anyone who's born in Israel against their choice. People don't choose where they're born, right? We all know that. Anyone who's born in Israel.
Again, they've just made this up at this point. Like, what we are arguing with the voices in Ethan's head, right? We are arguing with the voices in Ethan's head, right? He said, "My wife is half Lebanese, so you know, obviously, we're not going to defend you right now." And he's like, "It's because we're Israeli. It's because we're Israeli, isn't it?" He's like, "No. It's because you are defending genocide." Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's because you're defending genocide. And they don't like people who are pro-genocide. So maybe stop being pro-genocide.
Worth defending on any condition. I don't even know if he knows that's what he's saying because he's obviously lost like a lot of brain cells.
He took some denim lessons because he's already owned himself in his own video so many times.
That's it.
You just let it run the course and he owns himself 5 minutes later.
There's actually a condition for this. I forget who coined this, but it's snark brained. You start using snark regularly and you get infected with these people's logic and like it actually scrambles your.
Literally everything he says is pure projection. Ian mentioned Israel one time in the video. Yes, he did. They got to the one time where he mentioned it and they're going, you know, they're going brazy.
Brain. And then when you come out to the real world and try to express those thoughts, it's so obvious to be like, dude, what? You're like fucking nuts. That's it. That's what's happening.
Like he does realize that like he's the person who's nuts here. Like, just look again. This is like a judge me by my enemies and judge me by my allies type thing. Like, even if you hate Hassan and Denims and Frogan or whatever, like when you realize you're on the side of like XQC and Keemstar and like the quartering, like maybe you have to think about like maybe I'm not the good guy here. Maybe I'm the bad guy if I'm like aligned with Keemstar.
And he's snark brained, which I never thought Ian, my friend, would ever fall down that loop. And by the way, when I say he's snark brained, I'm not kidding. He was already in previously what we've shown before, shown screenshots from Snark as a reputable source of information.
This is also so funny because like Ethan himself, right? This guy, this little goober here, has been caught getting clips from Destiny's community directly. Do we remember that, chat? Do we remember? Do we remember that? The Hamasabi one is one of them, right? Another one of them is one that I found, right? Was him using an edited screenshot from Destiny's community, right? About Frogan's Rising Star and the content puke. Right? And his response to that was like, "Oh, I just found it on Google. Oh, I just found it on Google. I didn't get it from Destiny's community. I just found it on Google. I just Googled Frogan Rising Star 2025 which Fergie was a rising star, or 2024, and Fergie was a rising star 2024, and just happened to take that screenshot for that was from Our Shot's Destiny. I just want to point that out. And he still wants to maintain that he's never used stuff from Destiny's community. Like this is provably wrong, by the way. This is provably wrong. There were instances where he like was on stream being like, I'm looking for a clip, right? He goes in his phone, he texts somebody, and then in Destiny's community, they're like, okay, we need this clip. They get the clip, and then he happens to find that exact clip somewhere else. And then it happened again. Again, every accusation is a confession. Community on stream, he got off from D's community. That was a recent thing. Did he? I need a clip of that. I need a clip of that one. They was messaging someone similarly about Bleach and Hassan. Really?
The drama.
God, I could go forever. I mean, same guy that says that it's not like the crew should be staying out of it is sourcing Snark, who has been bullying the crew for no reason.
Everybody. They make everyone's life hell by definition. And presumably, it seems like he's been browsing there for a while. So. Yeah. That's friend activity right there. Warning, friend activity. Just look at him, man. Just look at him. Do the Fortnite thing. Just take that fucking dumb face in. This man used to be this face used to mean something.
This is so funny.
Please, God.
Like, I don't understand how he does not understand that this is a public own. He's being Fortnite danced on. You're being Fortnite danced on, Ethan. This is coming from a video where people are telling you to wake up. And you're like, you know what would be a good bit? If like, I actually make it seem like I'm always thinking about this. And it's always in my mind. And it goes and infests my dreams, actually. That would show that I'm not owned. I'm not owned. I'm not owned. Sure. This is the face of a man who's not owned. This is the face of a man who's not owned. Yeah. I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit. He's not owned, chat. He's not owned at all.
Please, God, give me the grace and the wisdom to never fall this hard. I've fallen in my career. I've fallen. I've gotten back up. I've learned. I've grown. Please, God, don't ever let me fall this hard.
Where's the link to the? Let me see. I'll just find it. I mean, shout out to him in June 2023, but like, yeah, it's just, I'm seeing a lot of minuses here. A lot of, oh, there's a new one. That one just popped up. For February 2025. Minus 30,000, minus 10,000, minus 20,000, minus 30,000, minus 20,000, minus 10,000. That's rough. He's getting so close to hitting 2.7 million. Oh, congrats on almost hitting 2.7 million, Ethan. Congrats on hitting almost 2.7 million. he pretends that he doesn't know you because you always like to go to lightning speed. I mean, yeah. Actually, I think it's because he's afraid of black people.
Ethan pretends he doesn't know you because you always clock his bullshit at lightning
I think it's because
speed.
he's afraid of black people. The positive of that is that I can kind of say whatever I want to. You know what I mean?
I'm speaking in tongues. Oh, Lord, don't let me land this fall. Maybe he's possessed by a demon, an anti-Semitic demon.
Oh.
That would make more sense than whatever's happening.
That would actually make me feel better. We can treat
He's possessed.
that.
He didn't mean it in the end.
Get some garlic in the room.
Oh, that's vampires.
But, I wanted to say, like, I'm not here to split hairs on nationality and stuff. Like,
No, of
she's
course not.
Lebanese, she identifies as that. That's fine, right? But like, he's crediting her as like, well, she's Lebanese, so she has this unique perspective on the world. It's like, excuse me, she lived there. She was born there. I lived there for 5 years. Ela was born there though. She didn't have a choice in that. Anissa, has she even been to Lebanon? I don't know. I know she didn't grow up there. So it's like, bro, you can't give her authority.
Wait, you also didn't grow up there though, by your own admission.
And then expect us to be like, oh, you guys are idiots. You don't know what you're talking about. It's just not illogical.
It's also not what Ian is saying.
But how is that even relevant to her not being able to stand up for me as a friend?
Because you're Israeli.
Because you're defending genocide. You're a genocide defender.
And she's Lebanese.
So,
So,
exactly.
you know, the Israelis and Lebanese, they just can't get together.
Thank you.
By the way,
Just
shout out
like-
to my great 2 employees that I love and cherish.
Right.
Who are Lebanese.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, where are they at? Ethan? Why don't you do the little, you know, the little camera cut thing you do? Where are they, why don't you, you know, just do the thing. Just like the little camera cut thing.
Yes.
Rudy was saying that Palestinians are taught at 2 years old to kill Americans. Do we have that one?
Like, just the other day, baby fired.
So I wonder why they didn't say anything. That's kind of interesting. No, oh thanks, Ethan. We love you too. Where's that at? Where's the you know, you would think that like if your boss gives you praise, you would be like, oh thanks, I appreciate that. But why didn't they say anything? I don't know. Why didn't they say anything? That was a bit weird. That was a bit interesting.
Rudy was saying
Also,
that.
Bobo, thank you for the Prime 2-month free subscription. Chat, you know your Primes can only be used here, and they're free if you have an Amazon Prime account. But they can only be used here. So, you know, if you have a Prime you haven't used yet, make sure you use it here. Or if you have an Amazon Prime you haven't connected with a Twitch account yet, go ahead and connect it with a Twitch account, and then you can use your Prime subscription only here, nowhere else but here. It's okay. Ethan can't be has Lebanese friend and he can't be bigoted. True.
Palestinians are taught at 2 years old to kill Americans. Do we have that one?
Like, just the other day, baby fired. A really good guy.
Okay. I need to hear. I'll slow down to 1.5. I need to hear what their response to that clip is.
A lot of people are pissed.
So, well, this is the Gallant thing. Which
Snark's greatest hits.
Yeah,
this is Snark's greatest.
Snark's greatest hits. Okay. Are they going to address the points that are made here? Are they gonna address it?
I think he may have even ripped this from the Snark subreddit. Like, I think if you go there, you'll probably find this exact compilation that he ripped. Now, this is fascinating to me. They claim that Ela, if you read online about her, the claim is that Ela says children are trained to hate Jews from birth. What is their
Okay.
evidence?
Rudy was saying that Palestinians are taught at 2 years old to kill Americans. Do we have that one?
Like her,
okay. Yeah. It sounds like she agrees. It sounds to me like she agrees. Maybe she was saying, I mean, actually, I disagree. Maybe I missed that part. Maybe Snark cuts out that part of the clip. Right? Maybe she always said that and then Snark cuts it out. Maybe.
Their evidence.
If somebody replied to a straight up anti-Semitic remark with that response, how would they take it? We know, actually. We have evidence of how they would take such a thing, right? Because they used it in the context puke, right? They used Hassan when like Hassan and Nick were talking about Hassan Nasrallah. They were like, and Nick was like, oh, do we like him? Hassan was like, I mean, so they were like, see, endorsement. Hassan endorses everything Hassan Nasrallah has said. So that's what Ethan himself has said and used. So good memory, thank you. My memory is kind of solid. Remembering random factoids. And we can pull it up. Okay, that did not come out. Sorry, I spelled it wrong. Ah, there it is.
Most people were silent. I remember.
I do not like them then.
Well, like...
I like what you like.
I don't have an issue with them, let's just say.
This is Hezbollah's leader, Hassan Nasrallah. According to Hassan Piker, this
full-throated endorsement. He said, well. And he said he doesn't have an issue with them. He's like, man, Hassan must love them. But like, Ela being like, Palestinians are taught to kill by the age of 2. He's like, well, that's not full-throated endorsement.
Is Ela doing I mean?
And I don't even remember what, like, sometimes there's multiple conversations happening at once here. I don't even remember.
Oh, really? Okay. You don't remember. You don't remember saying that you tacitly agreeing with, tacitly agreeing with Rudy Giuliani. This is a perfect example of Ian giving the context, by the way. They claim that Ian never gives context. Ian gives the context. AB saying Rudy Giuliani said that Palestinians are taught to kill by the age of 2, and you're like, I mean.
The Blessed Machine just subscribed. Saw you Fortnite dancing on YouTube. Great moves. Keep it up.
Thank you. Thank you. My moves are great. Thank you very much. The Blessed Machine, thank you for the 2-month resubscription. Much appreciated. And Banked Ass. NNPLOL last stream to March 26th, content filming. Our content filming March 27th, coincidence?
That Palestinians are taught at 2 years old to kill Americans.
Do we have that one?
mean,
Like
that's pretty interesting. It sounds like she's referring to that specific instance. Doesn't sound like it's like a side conversation going on there.
Their evidence is Ela doing I mean.
And I don't even remember
Yeah,
what,
come on. I think you gotta come better than that. I think you gotta come better than that. You gotta come with more stronger, like, say, you know, she misheard what AB said. Like, you can't come with like, the evidence just being like, I mean. Right? Like, okay, like, let's imagine a situation where like AB said instead, you know, Rudy Giuliani was saying Trump is great. Right? And then like Ela's like, I mean, you would imagine, right, that is a tacit endorsement of Donald Trump. Right? There've been a lot of younger Palestinians being radicalized. Let's be real. Okay, you're banned. I'm sorry. If you even try to contextualize an idea that like Palestinians are taught to kill by the age of 3 or whatever, you're banned. I'm banning you. Like, you are an insane person, and I will ban you.
Sean the Black says she's my African.
Like, you're doing pro-genocide rhetoric
Akawaric
if you do that.
3000 just subscribed. Their scripted ass response being this bad is insane.
sometimes there's multiple conversations happening at once here. I don't even remember where this was going. Like, this was our post-election stream, right? Where we were all.
Yep.
Yeah.
There was lots of chatter back and
This was
forth. That's the podcast
a
does.
nightmare of a
Yeah.
stream when we were like, okay, Trump won.
So at any rate.
So I get to be anti-Palestinian, right? I hate to say that Palestinians are taught to kill by the age of 2, right? Because Trump won, and we were sad about it. and we were sad about it. So I get to co-sign like Rudy Giuliani's anti-Palestinian rhetoric. Yeah, okay.
I don't even remember what like.
So once again, world building on this.
Yeah.
This is their fucking evidence for this insane claim, by the way, this extraordinary claim that Ela thinks kids are trained to hate Americans, which is what he said, by the age of 2. Pretty extreme claim. The evidence should be pretty extreme.
They're taught at 2 years old to kill Americans. Do we have that one?
Like you agree with it? That is a endorsement of that claim. No, an insane claim requires equally, or an extreme claim requires equally extreme, condemnation. If you disagree with it, you would say, that's wrong, that's not true, or I can't believe Rudy Giuliani would say that, that's crazy. But you instead tacitly endorsed it. Did Ela denounce that idea right now? She must, right? If she doesn't believe it, she should say, I don't believe that. She should say, I don't believe that. If she doesn't believe it, she should say she doesn't believe it. She could blow us out of the water by saying, I don't think babies are trained terrorists. Yeah. She could solve all the issues, right? By saying, I do not agree with what Rudy Giuliani said there. You are misconstruing my point. And she can explain why she doesn't agree. But her response is, oh, I don't really remember what we were talking about then. Why can't Ela say that she doesn't think that Palestinians are like trained by the age of 2 to be terrorists? Why can't she say that? I think maybe she does. No, I'll be fair. I don't know. Maybe she does. I want to be entirely fair. If she says that, I'll be like, okay, she said it. She doesn't believe that. Right? Maybe she does. I'll play it.
Mm-hmm.
Checkmate.
Yeah. Where does it go from there? Like,
yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it is a checkmate.
I don't say anything. I don't know what.
But part of the reason why people are...
I don't even really say anything. Yeah, where does it go from there? You don't say. That's the problem. You don't say anything. You don't denounce it. That's the issue. You not saying anything is the issue. You do not denounce the claim. Maybe you should have said something. Maybe you should have said, hey, I denounce that claim. I don't agree with it. Unless you do agree with it.
Or like he's gonna do a content cup on you, and I was like, there's no way, because when I think about like actually what's out there, when you get to the nitty gritty, people say a lot of shit, but you can't show or support any of it because all of it is just fucking lies and bullshit.
Dan,
so it's like
wait, do you not believe it? Do you not believe it? Say you don't believe it. Say that this is not true.
Dan has the actual clip.
Oh, okay. Great. Let's watch it
The
unfiltered.
movement of not voting is so funny to me. Especially by people pro-Palestine, because if Trump gets elected,
he's the most pro-Israel president of all time.
It's not good.
The context is Ela's fucking defending Gaza because people like Hassan pathetically voted for Jill Stein instead of Kamala Harris and say,
okay, the idea that like that Hassan voted for Joe Stein is kind of funny. Number one. Number two. Oh yes. Okay. Thank you. Ela just said that Palestinians are taught by the age of 2 to become terrorists, right? To defend Palestinians. Oh, I didn't think about that. Ela only agreed with Rudy Giuliani, right? To defend Palestinians. How could I not think of that? How could I didn't, that didn't cross my mind. Wow. That did not cross my mind. Thanks a lot, Ela. I'm sure, Palestinians love your defense of claiming that they are taught by the age of 2 to freaking hate Americans or whatever. They are terror babies. I'm sure that they appreciate that.
Say things as dumb as this.
Hypothetical reality where Kamala Harris would not be as bad as Donald Trump, which we have no proof for.
That's insane.
We didn't have any proof for it, by the way. I just want to point that out. There is still no proof of that. Hassan was correct. He's right. Kamala Harris has done nothing to demonstrate that she would be meaningfully different to Trump. Especially on Palestine. Has not demonstrated a single thing. He's correct.
You're synced up there.
That I was so proud of that.
My guy, dude. My guy.
That was what's up.
Shout out, dude.
That's the kind of chemistry we do here.
Ethan and I both talked about how people should vote for Kamala, and especially if you care about the Palestinian cause, because Trump is going to be way worse.
By the way.
And it's well known. He's friends with Bibi. They both are made of the same kind of, shitty behavior.
Yeah.
And that was also what I was trying to say about Gallant.
Do they know that, like, Netanyahu came to speak to, like, both chambers of Congress and got, like, standing ovations from both sides of the aisle? Like, where's this idea that, like, that he was not supported by the Democrats and Republicans? He did meet, he didn't meet with Kamala. I think Kamala, I don't know if Kamala didn't go to that meeting. Or what happened there. At least for no, it was a private meeting. Oh, you're right. Kamala met him. I met with him in a private, separate meeting. You are correct. You're correct. She had her own meeting with Netanyahu.
Of course. And so, again, he takes you nodding and it removes it out of the
she said, I mean,
context of you defending Gaza.
Also, okay, hold on. Also, didn't Ethan Klein takes Hassan's, like, scoff at Kamala as though, like, he was, like, denying rapes? Do y'all remember that? Do y'all remember when Ethan did that? Or, like, was like when Kamala brought up the fact that, like, it was like they burned babies alive, and Hassan scoffed at that. And then Ethan was like, "You're laughing at the burning of the babies from Hamas." During one of her rallies? No, it wasn't a rally. It was during the interview. She had a sit down interview, and she levied that claim. And then, like, Hassan, like, scoffed at that, and you're like, "You're laughing at it." Memory's wild. I can't remember what I had for dinner yesterday. To be fair, this takes up like half of my day when I do this streaming. So that's pretty interesting. Was it the mass rape thing? It was some sort of claim like that. So yeah, it happened twice. Another time someone was cringing, and Hassan said he laughed. But now Hila was just nodding, according to Ethan. She was just nodding in agreement with Rudy Giuliani. So it's not as bad. So it's not as bad.
For the movement.
Like,
I think it is.
Fucking becomes insane.
Dude,
Like,
at his rally, Rudy was saying that Palestinians are taught at 2 years old to kill Americans.
That's pretty spicy.
Yeah.
Do we have that?
She didn't even respond immediately.
I'm not, and I'm still.
Oh, she didn't respond immediately. She's just nodding.
Probably
He
thinking
cut it
also, like,
together, so it looks like you immediately responded.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. Okay.
I mean,
Like Kamala.
That sounds okay. That's a little bit dishonest. Ethan. He paused. Okay. This is what Ethan does. He paused it to extend the time to make it seem like there was a large gap between when she responded and when he didn't respond. So I'm going to show you the full clip. Mr. Beast leaked group chat. This is H3 show number 27 or 72. I'm going to show you the full thing.
It's Monday, everybody, and you know what? Said Kamala was gonna win.
Yes. Yep. That's how it works with the jinxing.
Yeah, believe it. These people are fucking incisor. Who's like, actually, I don't involve shit. I don't. Dick.
And there
Trump terror. These children are crazed.
Where's it at?
They have suicide vests. The 2-year-olds.
Also, yeah, it also wasn't election night. This is October 28th. Wait. This is before the election. Before the battle for access. Because it's on November 5th. I know this. This is okay, so they're just lying. They're just lying. Where's it at?